engineering report. We've got more engineering stuff to come. Just FYIs, the water mains program is it where we're at? We've done Alpha and Jericho. Is it scouring or cleaning or whatever it is?
Cleaning.
Done here.
One will be completed tomorrow.
Okay, and then we're going north.
Yep, and they're going for a break and then do Aramac.
Oh, they go for a break. Not about Aramac DM. Do you have knowledge of those days yet for your community?
Yes, Friday, Saturday, Aramac, Sunday.
Beautiful. And obviously that advice has gone out.
Yes.
They have taken a bit of hurting, Mr. Mayor. And they weren't too forthcoming with programs to enable us to follow out.
Yeah. I was Westec Day was a bit of a problem. I was in the Alpha office and the phone calls were coming thick and fast. Alpha had been notified the day before, I think, but yeah, because Westec was a holiday here, and anyway, there's when we take things offline for hours at a time, honestly, they don't even last half an hour, and they're in the block out the front. You can see what they're doing. So communication on the communication guru, we should be trying, but that seriously is not that big of an inconvenience. But if you've got a bit more advance notice, yeah, especially if it's a weekend, that would be more problematic with more people at home, perhaps. Very good. No more questions? Everyone's aware of what they're doing. It's cleaning water mains. And the water may have a slight milky, bubbly appearance to it when it comes out of the tap.
Brown.
Or what?
All black.
Right. Obviously the water mains obviously needed cleaning, I would suggest, if that's what the discharge is.
Is that on tap?
That is the feedback I got today on very much.
Different in different towns.
Maybe the AT when you turn it back on.
Yeah.
All right. I think we might have an MPI in 362.
And the next one, Mr. Mayor.
I didn't get to for a second. You just went straight into questions.
I am so sorry, Hayley. Can I have somebody move that we receive this report? Thank you, Councillor Gleeson. Seconded, Councillor Plum. Took until 3 o'clock to get a clip under the ear, but I got one. Those in favour? Come opposed? Carried. Thank you very much, Councillor Arthur. All right. These next two resolutions, you just speak to the overall. Just quickly remind us all, Rick, that you're doing these in packages to ensure expeditious and on-time delivery.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, through you. The release of these packages are to ensure that we're maximising our workforce and our contract workforce locally. So releasing these in packages as they're available, as they're going. These are the next two. So this resolution is package 2, the following one is package 4. And there'll be more to come.
Right, questions on 362. You see the tender range. The recommendation is to award to the lowest tender, Home Creek Pastoral Trust.
Where's the
Which road did we carry out?
It's a range of roads. So I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head package 2 and package 4, but I think package 2 is possibly that way. Home Creek, around that way. I think package 4 was this way.
Thank you, sir. Councillor Peoples, are you moving? Councillor Gleeson is seconding. Will there be a discussion against? There being none, I'll put the vote. All in favour, carried 6-0. Moving to 363, package 4. Now, I'm assuming that's not a typo. 3, have we done 3 or is it yet to come to us? Package, we're going package 2, package 4.
Yeah, we're just releasing them in packages. So they could come in.
So number 3 could be another. We are receiving the report here. The tenders range from 600, and you see it there. Is there? That's the we're recommending. The officers are recommending the lowest tender at Michael Warren Transport for $686,473.60. Moved Councillor Peoples, seconded Councillor Plum. Will there be discussion against? If there none, I'll put the vote. 6-0. Carried. Thanks, Dan. I now referring back in the agenda, please, to 348. Information I requested was to ensure where we were at in the plant. So we go back to 348, thanks, Councillor Arthur. Where we were at with plant acquisition. So can I have an update on where the process is at? Yeah, I appreciate it. Congratulations again.
Yep, so the reason, councillors, was that we just want to confirm where we're at with the purchase of that plant, because the plant hasn't gone out to tender. So there has been a purchase order issued for the bus. And we don't know whether that, we're still waiting for feedback on whether we can change it. The larger bus, but it will be between $60,000 and $70,000 extra to that. That was additional information.
No, so we're back to the conversation now about letting it lay on the table. Are we proceeding with the plant? Do we want to stop the plant acquisition? Are we going to prove that we move
Sorry,
with
Mr.
that? So
Just to clarify, so the budget we approved was for a Toyota Coaster,
for 120,000, that was our estimated cost then, yes.
but we have issued a purchase order for a smaller bus.
The budget we approved is for a new bus.
Just for a bus.
Well, it says Toyota Coaster in the
That,
plan replacement.
yeah, so Mr. Mayor, that's the trade-in name of that's the vehicle we're trading.
That's the plant number that we've got now.
So the plant name in there is what we're trading, so yeah, we don't necessarily, like if we trade a four-wheel drive Hilux with a new two-wheel Hilux,
Two-wheel drive.
two-wheel drive Hilux. Yeah, so it doesn't, yeah, it can be confusing in that the description there is what we're actually trading, doesn't necessarily mean what we're replacing it with. But we had budgeted enough to buy a 20-seat bus.
Okay, that's good, thank you. We'll ask more questions about the plant's replacement in future budgets.
So when we go through once the budget's adopted,
Yep.
and there then the leadership team, the senior work supervisor, including the senior work supervisor, mechanics come in, and then we go through. Really drill down into exactly what we need.
We
Sorry, you
budgeted.
missed me, that's user choice.
Yeah, but it's we budgeted for a Friday.
Yeah,
And it'll be something else. So this, where I think we've got to sort this out here is this is there's two issues here. There's ongoing transportation issues for the school that's been raised, and then there's the budget acquisition issue. So I know the two are linked, but there's the issue here front and centre about A, we received a letter, that's fine. B, is the issue that's probably linked to the budget, and C is the issue we work through providing alternatives to the school. So, where are we at? I mean, we've seen the identified savings, the community reduction in community utilisation, if it goes from 20 to 12 is what's going to be discussed, I guess, or debated. Where do you want to go? We have to come to a decision in some way about doing something, because this agenda item needs resolved, or deferring or something. Councillor Rogers.
Through you, Mr Mayor, well, I'm happy to leave it lay on the table until then Councillor Arthur talks to his
Connections,
connections,
community.
about that other option that we, maybe getting another bus from somewhere else at school.
Mr Mayor, I'm not sure whether that resolves the issue about getting.
No,
postal
that's-
orders.
coming to that.
Which is the pinnacle of the issue, receiving the letter and offering
Work with them.
to work with council are minor side issues. It's the whether we, as the council, are happy to go with a smaller bus or we stick with the larger bus.
Because there's two options, multiple options, but for providing alternative solutions is one is whatever community connections a councillor may be able to generate, and second is giving them the existing bus so they can provide for their own transportation and maintain it at their own cost. So they're both alternatives. Obviously the second one, if we elect to stay with coaster bus, with a 20-seater bus and we've given them the other one, then that affects our budget. If we do elect to go with a smaller bus and we give it away, it affects our savings, but we still have a net gain on the budget. We're still 25 grand better off on plant replacement. Now, that's not going to be 25 grand in the bank because I'll bet you there's other fleet that we've acquired that haven't come in on or under budget. So you want savings to offset overruns. Officers, you've issued the purchase order. Is it possible to delay acquisition for a month? It's not the end of the world. This is not a vital piece of plant like a grader or.
Yeah, we need to get a response from the suppliers. Okay? So these things are, obviously there's a large lead time on us. Could be 6 months or 8 months before it arrives, so it just depends what stage it's at in that process, which could be very hard. But, yeah. Workshop supervisor is trying to contact the supplier, or has contacted the supplier, but not the person he needs to talk to.
So what are we doing?
Mr Mayor, I'm happy to leave it on the table for a month and see what options you can sort through.
Yep. So it is possible that the budget, that the plant item we may be committed, is what you're saying. So we could come back in a month to a committed, so long as you're aware of leaving it on the table. If obviously it can be paused, it will be.
Through you, Mr Mayor, I feel, I'm not really that worried about getting a 12-seat bus because I can see the savings overall with that. The only the thing that we've been looking at is the school going to be disadvantaged? And the principal has given us an option anyway that she would be happy to take on that other bus, which would leave us in the black, and we would still have extra savings with a smaller bus, which we would hopefully utilise more than the one that we're already using. Like, at least if we're going on a trip, it might be more capacity, like we might have it 3/4 full instead of a quarter of a bus load to go somewhere. So, yeah, I'm happy to leave it on the table, and so that next time we come, we can decide do we want to give our bus away, or has Councillor Arthur made some agreement with his connections that he's going to.
Well, you're saying, Councillor Rogers, you're happy for the acquisition to continue?
Yeah.
What you're happy
I'm
with
happy.
to leave on the
I'm
table is
happy.
what we do with the current bus.
That's what I'm, yeah.
Councillor, right, I'm going to poll the room and then we come to a vote. Councillor Arthur, what do you want to do?
On principle, I'm against going to the smaller bus because it hasn't come to us first. Like we've issued a purchase, and I know there's semantics about me reading the plan as there was $100,000 against a coaster bus, and I should have asked more questions. That's on me, and my apologies. So I'm against the resolution.
Councillor Hanson?
Yeah, I'd like to actually let it sit as it is and see what happens. Councillor Arthur, if we can put the bus purchase off. If we can.
Please.
Mr Mayor, as far for the council purposes, I'm in favour of buying the small bus as recommended. It is council duty to try and keep everybody happy, but I sort of don't really like being held over the barrel by a school mistress or master, and that's the way that I feel at the moment.
Thank you. Councillor Peebles?
No, I'm happy to leave it on the table. I'm probably supportive of the school mistress. I think that there are probably uses there that would benefit the school and the kids, so I'm happy to leave it on the table for a month. Hopefully that purchase order can be stalled and we can come back and have another yarn about it in a month's time.
Councillor One.
Mr Mayor, I'm just wondering if we start a precinct by giving the Jericho State School the bus.
I'm not even wondering that. I know that.
Yeah, well, I know it too, but is that a precinct that the state school here are asking for this bus and obviously want the bus?
No, I'm not sure what they're wondering, Councillor Plum. I'm wondering what you want to know, what you want to do.
Well, that's just helping me make my own decision. Now, if we go ahead and give the state school the bus, who else is going to want something? No, you just can't be going on giving.
In fairness to both sides of the debate here, a possibility is not giving them anything, but replacing like for like and allowing them to continue using our assets. So it's not necessarily giving them as an option, but it need not be what's explored. So do you want to proceed with the resolution, or do you want to? Make a cup of coffee.
I was going to say, Mr Mayor, just for all involved, it's 6 weeks till our next meeting too, so
Yeah,
it's not just
I know.
the month timeframe, which may or may not have an impact on it. Well, it's more so.
I'm adjourning to 3:08.